going on, Dub Nation? I hope you guys are enjoying a very happy NBA All-Star break. This is Warriors Today by Chat Sports, and I am your host, Allie Barefoot. And that right there is Giannis Antetokounmpo. And why are we talking about him? Because there's new reports that the Warriors are going to pursue Giannis in the offseason, per Shams Charania of The Athletic. And look, the Warriors have been headhunting right now for another All-Star to come join Steph Curry and sort of rebuild this winning franchise culture that's been built in the Bay Area for the past 10 years, because whether or not Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and Steph Curry all come back together next year and just play together one more time as the trio, I'm not so sure that the trio is enough to produce championships in the Bay Area anymore. And that's okay. Father Time does that to a lot of players. So if Giannis were to come to the Bay Area, we're going to break down exactly what that is going to look like and if it's even possible. As you guys know, Milwaukee is home for Giannis Antetokounmpo. Of course, his brother is on the team as well. So there's going to be a lot of dominoes that will have to fall to get Giannis to come here, but it's not impossible. So we're going to break that down. But first, before we get into any of this, I just want to hear from you guys. Give me your one-word reaction to the Warriors now pursuing Giannis this offseason. I honestly am going to say smart. I think it'd be a very smart move to really determine what assets you have on the bench right now and then go after Giannis. And the only reason why I say smart is because of what we're going to talk about here on today's show. So I think first and foremost, after you guys put your one-word reaction, let's go ahead and get some facts behind that. Here's what you guys should know about Giannis possibly coming to the Bay Area. He did sign a 3-year max extension starting in the 2025-26 NBA season with the Milwaukee Bucks. But right now, they're 35-21 this season, which is actually still third in the East, believe it or not. But if you watch the Milwaukee Bucks recently, especially after the Doc Rivers hire, they're not looking like a playoff contender, in my opinion. And Giannis has previously stated, look, I want to play for Milwaukee. I appreciate everybody in Milwaukee. And he seemed pretty happy when Dame time arrived in Milwaukee, but will it pay off? Because Giannis is getting paid regardless. He's making $45.6 million, for example. Klay Thompson is making $42 million this year. Next year, $48, and then that 3-year max extension will start. So he's been making $186 million once that does start over the next 3 years, 54, 58, and so on. So to get Giannis by 2025 or even in the offseason, that means you're going to have to add $54.3 million in 2025. Who are the Warriors even going to be paying by then? Let's break that down. I got Steph Curry. He's going to be making a whopping $60 million on top of a Giannis contract of $58 million. Holy money that would cost the Warriors. Draymond Green would only be making $25.8 million. Doesn't seem like a lot now when you look at Steph and Giannis. And then Andrew Wiggins, if they do decide to keep him on the team for that long, $28.2 million. However, those are just guaranteed contracts, as they have signed extensions. Whether or not they trade those players away, that's up to the Warriors. However, these contracts will be done by the year 2025. Jonathan Kuminga, who I highly expect to get a contract extension by the end of this season, Moses Moody, Kevon Looney, and Gary Payton II, which if you're looking at these players, they're all under $10 million. So it only gives you so much extra cap space to be able to bring somebody like Giannis to the Bay Area. But look, here's the main reason, the main thing I should say, that has to happen for Giannis to come to the Warriors. It all depends on the second half of the NBA season, which is starting on Thursday. The Bucks and the Warriors, if they are both playoff contenders, and I mean full playoff contenders, they make it past first, second, and possibly make it to the conference finals, then I doubt Giannis will be traded. But Giannis already said, I just want to win. He's already told Milwaukee, if that's not here, thank you for everything, peace out. And I know Steph Curry wants to win as well. So, depending on how Golden State and Milwaukee does in this year's playoffs is going to determine whether or not Giannis will be a Buck next year. Do you guys think Giannis is ever going to leave the Milwaukee Bucks? Because we all heard rumors last offseason saying, oh, well, I want to win. If it's not here, I apologize, but I'm leaving. And they signed Damian Lillard. Well, they're still not the best team in the Eastern Conference. In fact, they're third. So will he ever leave? Type S for stay, type L for leave. While you guys are doing that and contemplating whether or not Giannis' future lies in Milwaukee, let's go ahead and break down today's sponsor on the show. It is Prize Picks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app in America right now, and it is the easiest and most fun daily fantasy sports app you can play on the market. Why? Because all you have to do is pick between 2 to 6 players and just pick more or less on a player's projected stats, and you can win up to 25 times your money on any entry. And that's the easy part. All you have to do is pick more or less. And it's so much fun because they constantly have promotions to nearly help you win money. Of course, the second half of the NBA season is starting on Thursday, so get your picks in now before those games starts because they have a 99% off pick on the Joker. I have him having more than one 30-plus point game in the second half of the NBA season. I mean, that's a lot. That's a discount from 9.5. And I do have Steph Curry having more than 3.5 40-plus points games in the second half of the NBA season. So these are my Prize Picks. All you guys have to do is go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Use promo code CLNS for a first-time deposit match up to $100 and watch yourself win some real money in real time. Now, why are we talking about Giannis? Why are we talking about these big names? It all revolves around Steph Curry. They want to pair Curry with another all-star. You bring Giannis to the Bay Area, I guarantee you every single seat in the Chase Center is going to be filled. And here's the best part, is that Father Time hasn't seemed to reach Steph Curry yet despite being in his mid-30s. He's still performing at an MVP level. And he's even said there comes a time where your body starts to tell you that it's time to wind down. And thankfully, Steph Curry said, that's not right now. Eventually, you're going to get to a point where you wake up and whatever your body is telling you and whatever your mind is telling you, it's time. But I don't think I'm anywhere close to that. And Mike Dunleavy needs to hear these words precisely in the fact that Steph Curry is not done yet, which means you need to bring more talent to the Bay Area to help the Golden State Warriors win. Because if they're not winning, I bet Steph Curry's body starts feeling a little bit older than it really is. But here's the good part. The Warriors have a ton to offer in terms of draft capital, and which is what a lot of trades right now are consisting of. Of course, they do have their own first-round pick in 2025, numerous second-round picks, but they own a lot of their first-round picks in 26, 27, 28, 29, which is big when you want to make a big trade. However, in order to get a big player like Giannis, you're going to have to give up some big personalities on the Golden State Warriors. Like, remember that graphic I showed you guys a little bit earlier showing that the two players are going to have to pay other than Steph Curry in 2025 is going to be Draymond Green and Andrew Wiggins? Well, if you give them up, that is going to create so much cap space for Giannis to come to the Bay Area by trading away Draymond Green, Andrew Wiggins, and 3 first-round draft picks. And you can include another Milwaukee Buck. You can put somebody down here like a Moses Moody, a Jonathan Kuminga, somebody like that the Bucks may want. But I personally do think this is going to provide some defensive assets. As you guys know, the Bucks are struggling right now on the defensive front. And I think it could help the Milwaukee Bucks to a point where they might possibly accept this trade. But here's the other thing. It's not just Giannis that Mike Dunleavy has called about. As you guys know, they already tried to get LeBron James before the NBA trade deadline, but LeBron was like, I'm okay being a Laker right now. However, it all depends on if your team is going to win in the playoffs this year. A lot of minds are going to change in the offseason. And a couple other names that they have been looking for, like we said, LeBron James, they already tried to get him. I guarantee you he calls one more time when the regular season is done. Giannis is another player they're going to pursue in the offseason. Paul George is a pretty interesting name. If you guys haven't watched a Clippers game yet, I highly suggest you go do that because Paul George is playing some of his best basketball right now. And Kevin Durant, they could possibly make a phone call about in the offseason. There have been numerous reports that Durant is not happy in Phoenix. Could there be another homecoming back in the Bay Area? So, with all of those big names that I have just shown you that the Warriors are possibly going to be giving a call in the offseason, go on ahead and pick an all-star that you guys want to come to the Bay Area to help another former all-star, Steph Curry. Type LJ, GA, PG, or KD in the comments down below. And if you guys have already made your comments, all you have to do for the rest of the video is hit that subscribe button, because I promise if anything happens with the Golden State Warriors, we're going to have it on Warriors Today by Chat Sports.